Adults, we tend to prioritize so many things over our deen. We will say that, staying the night to pray qiyam and going to work the next day is hard, as Dr. Salma said. We can't do it. Sorry, I'm working in the morning. But if we had some kind of event for a close friend, somebody's getting married, we'll take that troop because we realize, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When are we going to realize that pushing our youth to be here and these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities are important? Because 1 week of missed halaqah leads to a couple weeks, leads to a couple months, and now your youth don't want to come anymore. And so they're not sitting in these spaces to realize that they need to take on this leadership role in the future. And what do these leadership roles really do? They place them in the spaces to meet righteous companionship, to be with good friends who keep them away from haram, to keep them in conversations that have to do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, continue to connect them with their deen, to keep them within the walls of the masjid, and always making it as the youth will be youth while they're younger. Maybe they don't want to prioritize the masjid or showing up or taking part while they're young. But in the back of their minds, you're building their psychology to realize as they grow older, I was really there. Like, I also went to this halaqah. I know how it runs. I saw how the leaders at that time took control. I'm capable of doing that. And so they'll show up into those spaces only because they've seen it done in front of them as an example. That's why it's so important to bring them. Nobody can enter a space and realize their capabilities and what they have to offer, but if they see it in front of them as an example first, for a couple weeks, a couple months, or even years, they'll realize it really isn't that hard and that they too can take on that leadership role. And it's best for them in terms of their connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As I said, gaining knowledge, being in a righteous space. Once a week showing up to the masjid leaves a thought in your mind all week long, what can I do more to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I had that conversation with that little kid, it was so touching. Look at the strong iman, I want that for myself. I prayed Maghrib and Isha and Jama'ah. You know what, I've been lacking with my salah, I really need to get on that. That felt really nice, to get those out of the way and not feel guilty about them. So those are the kind of things that we want our youth doing. And from experience, I can say that it truly, truly does work to plant those seeds first. Because, for example, when I went to college, when I went to university, I had taken on leadership roles here at Nafis. I had been to the Myrtle Retreat once, and I had never attended my MSA. First semester, I didn't go once. I didn't go once because it seemed a little scary at first. Not that I'm a very sociable person, but still, it wasn't a space I was familiar with. I didn't know anyone. I went to the Myrtle Beach Retreat. For example, this is one event, this is one space that you could place your children in, with other kids, their age, Muslims. Outside of my friends, I saw Muslim girls who I truly respected for the first time, subhanAllah, and I was growing. I went the next semester and I started attending the MSA because I thought, you know what? They took on those roles really well. It almost seemed a little too natural for them. Let me go see what else I can find, what I can learn. I started just craving knowledge. That's where it started. So I started attending the MSA just as a student, sitting back, listening to the other girls. SubhanAllah, I wasn't wearing the hijab, but sitting in a group with all hijabis, I thought, you know what? They were able to pray right away without having to put anything on. My mom's such a crier. She should never sit front row, honestly. I don't know why she keeps doing this to me. But, so I saw hijabis and I thought, you know what? I've never been friends with the hijabis, not personally, not close, but these girls were so welcoming. I remember texting my friend, wow, these girls were so nice, I want to come back. So I started coming back. Upon speaking, sorry, I'm just so emotional, I just started crying randomly. Sorry. So, sorry. So upon coming back, it built my confidence. I was speaking to these girls and I realized, you know what? I really have more knowledge than I thought that I did, because I was scared at first that they would ask me questions I didn't know the answer to. But that wasn't the case at all. Most spaces, they don't expect you to come in with knowledge. They don't expect to ask you a question and you're like, yeah, no, I know that, don't even worry. No, they don't test your knowledge, because at the end of the day, what we know is between us